Watching news today. In breaking news, John Block has resigned as Northern Cape ANC chair in MEC following his corruption conviction. The Kimberley High Court found him guilty of corruption, fraud as well as money laundering. Now this was in relation to the Trifecta multimillion tender scandal. The Northern Cape government leased buildings between 2006 and 2010, but it later emerged that there were irregularities and kickbacks in the awarding of the tenders involving Block and others. And for more on that story, we are joined on the line by SABC reporter Margaret Mutibi. Margaret, a very good afternoon to you. Please tell us what transpired at the media briefing today.
Good afternoon, Alicia. Well, basically what happened is that the provincial government decided to call an urgent meeting that was attended also by the Premier as well as the ANC Secretary, Zamaniso. And what happened was they made an announcement to say yesterday already Mr. John Block had decided that he's stepping down voluntarily. So they emphasized the point that he was not pushed or there was no pressure from the party for him to resign. But they state that he decided to resign in all his portfolios as chairperson of the party, also as member of the provincial legislature, and also give up his position as the MEC for one of the powerful positions actually in the whole structure of provincial government, because he was the MEC of Finance and Tourism in the province. So in the meantime, they have replaced him with the Speaker of the Legislature, that is Kenny Mimang, who will be acting for now until they have convened and have gone through the whole process of finding somebody that can replace John Block. And they also explained that this is not the first time that he's resigning. He had issues with the law back in 2003 where he was an MEC for Public Works, and then he decided then to step down. So this is the second time that he's having a brush with the law, and he has decided then to just step aside and let the process of the court unfold.
Look, Margaret, did Block give any reasons for his resignation other than his conviction at this stage?
Well, basically, in the statement, they didn't specify the reasons for him deciding to resign now, but they kept emphasizing the point that he's a disciplined comrade, and he has put the image of the party and the party itself ahead of his own personal ambitions. So it sounds like the emphasis is more about him being more about the ANC than about himself. So he's willing to give up all these things that he had acquired and the comfort that he had acquired as being an ANC person. So it's more brownie points for him from what was coming out of the press conference to say he's an honorable person, despite the fact that the legal process is not exhausted. He's decided to step aside.
Look, Margaret, do we know if he's likely to appeal the judgment handed down on corruption by the Kimberley Court?
Well, basically, currently what needs to happen is that the judgment was passed this past week. Beginning of January, he's going to be going back to court, but what's going to happen then, it will be pre-sentencing arguments that will unfold. And from there only can they set another date for sentencing. And then after sentencing, can he regroup with his legal team to say, well, he's been sentenced and therefore he's taking the next step, to appeal the sentencing and all that. But for now, it's not quite clear. I suppose they're waiting for the whole process to unfold, and then only can they make a decision to say what is the next step. But you must also remember, Alicia, this is not the only case. Next year, he's going to search for 2 other cases, that are involved with something related to water purification products that were sold to the Department of Health and also to the municipality. So he has a long road ahead of him in terms of legal challenges that he's going to face next year. Alicia?
Look, Margaret, before I let you go, I know you touched on it a little bit, but the ruling party was supposed to give feedback on their way forward with this matter. Have they made any official statements so far?
Well, Alicia, I indicated in the beginning that the press conference was convened by the party in the Northern Cape, and also the premier of the province was also there in her capacity as a PEC member. So the statement that was read this afternoon was a statement that was coming from them, but they did indicate that for now they are going to be replacing John Block with somebody else on a temporary basis rather. And the MEC also, the Premier rather, Sylvia Lucas, she also explained that now it creates 2 vacancies in the provincial legislature. You'd remember one of the MECs recently passed away, She was an MEC for Education, so there's a vacancy for her. And now with the resignation of John Block, there's a second vacancy that was created by his resignation yesterday. So she indicated that they will need to regroup as a party, and they will need to look into the capable people that they have, that they can place on these strategic positions that they currently have.
Thanks for that. That's Margaret Mutili, our reporter on the scene.